real estate agents? Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. And he is the man with the plan. How's it going, Joey?
That's me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs. Yes, we are, and we have an awesome guest with us today.
We do.
Yes, we do. That guest is Lauren Rosin. Of the Lauren Rosin team and associate broker with West USA Realty, licensed in both San Diego and Arizona.
Yes. San Diego, that's its own state.
It's a state.
Pretty much, right? How have you been?
Good. Life is good. Market's hot.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely is. Well, this is going to be a fun show. We're super excited you sharing how you've been able to be so successful over the last several years.
It's amazing how hard work pays off.
Yes, yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. How about first start off letting the listeners or the viewers know how long you've been in the business, okay? And then how you got into real estate in the beginning.
I got lucky. I grew up in Brooklyn, and I drove my car here one day when I was about to turn 20 and waited tables, put myself through ASU, go Sun Devils.
Yeah.
And after college, I was like, no more waiting tables. And my friend was like, come call mortgage leads. I was like, what's a mortgage? You know, I grew up in an apartment in Brooklyn. I was very like, so I got into it, and I got really good at it right away. And so a year later, I realized realtors made all the money. Yeah. So I decided to get into real estate in 2005. I got my license in the beginning of the year, and I did both for several years, about 6.5 years. So my background's financing, which is very helpful being a realtor. Okay. And then 2009, when the market crashed, I jumped into trustee sales. So I gave up lending.
Yeah.
And I bought heavily downtown for about 5.5 years. I ran an operation. I had two bidders downtown, one at Tiffany and Bosco, and then I had my drivers, and it was a lot of fun. It was definitely the Wild West. Yeah. So I've always made sure, I've always made myself an expert in what I do, and that's always been residential investments, such as flipping or building rental portfolios for people.
Yeah, okay. So I'm curious, so you just packed up the car and drove out here?
Yeah, I got here 3 days before I turned 20.
Did you know anybody here?
Never been here.
How much money did you have in your pocket?
I had $3,000, a duffel bag, and a 1993 Nissan Sentra.
And you didn't know a single person out here?
1993 Nissan Sentra.
Wow. I got here 3 days before my birthday and school started. And
nice.
I was like, better than Brooklyn in the 90s, right?
You got a master's degree too, right?
Yeah, I went back to ASU, and I got my master's in real estate development in 2011. So maybe be developing some projects. I have some stuff in mind, a fourplex that I own that I'm trying to expand, but I'm trying to get HUD to approve it so I could actually make it a low-income housing area and actually get more density on the property.
Got it. All right. Well, I thought you had a tiny house thing going on. No, I'm just teasing.
That's in Tucson.
I know we talked about that a little bit. Who knows? We'll let you know later.
Jeff wants to buy the first one, the spec.
I'm not driving to Tucson. Definitely not. All right. So we know how long. Oh, so 14 years.
Yes.
Is that right? 14 years?
Over. Yeah.
Now, most of that time you mentioned that you were kind of doing the business by yourself. I mean, and with great production numbers. But now you have a team. You've been growing your team, right?
Yeah, so I've been on my own for a majority of it, and then I brought on a full-time assistant, and then I slowly gave up some control and transaction coordinating there, and then just over time, I've been doing this over almost 15 years, and I'm just kind of at the point where I'm just one person, and I'm getting burnt out. And so I've been taking a lot of seminars and classes and reading books and stuff, and, it really talks about having buyer agents on your team because showing homes does take a lot of effort and time. And I love it. I mean, I love first-time home buyers. I don't think there's anything better. You're giving someone their first home ever, and you're part of it, and they trust you, and, you do right by them. So that's a really exciting part of it. But I had to come to the point where, listings are probably the most profitable in our business. Yep. And to really go after those, I had to give up some of my buyers and also teach my team, how to be kick-ass realtors.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the toughest thing. I know Joey and I talk about this a lot, is giving up that control.
Yeah.
Because you want to take care of that person, and you want to be the one. And it's hard to think that, gosh, what if they can't do it as good as I do it?
Yeah, so I've been really, in the beginning I was just hiring, and now it's like I'm interviewing. I'm making sure they fit in our families. Our team's up to 7 right now. So it's like I'm making sure they fit in our environment. They're part of our family. And so I'm trying to create this environment. I know a lot of teams are like chop shops, they just hire anybody, but I'm trying to create an environment where, like, if anyone left the team, they would really feel like they're losing their family and their guidance. And so we have 2 full-time assistants that really supports the staff, the team and the agents. And so I'm just trying to create like this environment that's really fun.
Yeah.
We're making money, we're selling homes, and we are looking to grow and we are looking for more agents.
Okay. All right. Well, we might as well ask then, how, if somebody's listening and they want to reach out to you.
Okay,
how they
just
do so.
you can email me at lauren@thelaurenrosenteam.com.
Okay.
LAUREN
All
at
right.
the Lauren Rosin ROSIN team TEAM.com.
All right, fantastic. We sometimes do that at the end, but since you said,
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it
we're
twice.
looking at growing, so we're good with that. So tell us about. I know you mentioned with the auction properties and all that. I mean, that gave you some great experience. Now you've turned some of that also into helping clients that want to develop their investment portfolios. Correct?
Yeah, so I think to be successful in anything, you have to have a focus. So, like, my focus has always been residential investments, which means I help people buy rental properties and place the tenant and understand the wealth and the tax advantages and, legally set up their entities so that they're protected. And so I've just really made myself a complete expert in that field. I've spent thousands and thousands on seminars and classes and my education, and also reading books. I constantly listen to audiobooks a lot of the time in the gym.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Or in the car driving back to San Diego, between Arizona and San Diego, since I work in both states now. So
Yeah.
yes.
Audible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you use Audible? Then
Oh,
is
yeah,
that what you
yeah,
use?
of course.
All right. All
It's the
right.
best thing ever.
It is, isn't it?
So with clients, you're
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say. So what's a process like? What's your kind of normal, or what? How would you describe your investment clients? I guess you could say.
okay, so someone came to me and they're like, hey, I'm really interested in maybe doing some investments in real
Yeah.
estate. So the first thing I do is really sit down with them, and we just have a one-on-one, and we kind of just talk about like what makes sense for you as a client. Everyone's under the impression you have to be wealthy or have money to invest in real estate, and that's really not the case. So what we do is we sit down and we talk about, okay, we're going to buy you this rental property. You need this much down. This is what it's going to net you. This is how much you're going to cash flow a month.
Okay.
The most important part of a rental property is the cash flow. If you're not in positive cash flowing, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Don't bet on appreciation. That's why the market crashed in 2008,
Right,
9,
yeah.
10.
How many people were jumping into investing?
Yeah,
back
because
then?
everybody was having,
Absolutely.
a lot of people had negative cash flow on their properties, but their homes were appreciating, so they didn't
Yeah.
mind making the extra payment. Once the market corrected itself, people just started letting their homes go left and right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think we'll see something like that again in a long time.
No, well, those loans aren't even available now. I mean, the loans back then, I know there were people getting 10 properties with like 5% down only, on 10
Yeah.
or stated income with 10 properties. It's, I mean, when you don't have a lot into it, you just kind of walk away.
Yeah, so I just, I try to educate people on like what makes the most sense, what the cash advantages are,
Yeah.
what the tax write-off advantages are, and just, trying to educate people. I'm at the
Right.
point where like, if you are interested in doing that, you do come to me. Like, I'm an expert. It's what I do. I own a lot of real estate. I flip a lot of real estate. I do a ton of traditional real estate with my team. So I really am an expert in
Got it.
in it.
Okay.
How much property do you own?
I own a handful
Wow.
or two.
Or 2 handfuls. There we
In
go.
like an hour, I'm going to own.
a big one.
Well, yeah, I bought 7 acres in Vale and it has a mobile double wide on it, but I think it could be developed. So I'm going to hold
Yeah.
on to her. My plan is to hold on to her for 10, 15 years
There you go.
and then let Vale blow up and let some developer buy me out or develop
There
it
you go.
myself.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
You never know. I say try it. That's what you went to school for, right?
Oh, it's recording in an hour.
It's there we go. Do it.
So hurry up.
Do it. Good, good. So as far as so with the rest of your team, outside of the investment part of it, what would you say percentage listing versus the buy side? I mean, do you guys get a lot of buyers, or you most of this
We really are
Working
like
listing?
50-50.
kind of right
Like,
down the
we've
middle?
really been
Okay.
50-50 for a long time. Trying to get heavier on the listings because if you have the listings, you control the inventory.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing in this market since it's going up, and I'm sure other realtors are seeing, is a lot of dual agency. So we're at the point where like, hey, if we have the listing, we should bring the buyer in,
Yeah.
through multiple ways of advertisement, social
Right.
media.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Social's big. I think video, Facebook Live stuff. I think going forward.
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live right there, right?
Yeah, we're actually going live.
Yes. I think that, going forward, Joey and I teach a lot about marketing, and I know with Facebook making all these changes over the last couple, the announcements anyway, Facebook Live is going to be a great way to go to keep your brand growing more so than most everything else. So it's going to be exciting. How about agents that, if somebody were to come to you and say, you know what, my business slowed a bit, or maybe they're new to real estate, what kind of tip would you give them to say, here's what you should do now?
The only thing a realtor is supposed to be doing every single day is prospecting. And if you're not prospecting a minimum of 2-3 hours a day, like true prospecting, not checking your social media, not returning calls of past clients, not putting out fires, that's what you need to be doing. So really prospecting. And that's like thinking outside the box or doing open houses and being in front of people. Like everyone needs to know what you do as an expert.
Yeah.
And then having a CRM is the most important thing in this business.
Yeah.
That would be my first advice to any realtor is get your CRM dialed in, get your drip campaign set up, and just stay on top of that, because in 10, 15 years, you'll be blown away by what's in there.
Yeah, she's preaching truth, real estate truth.
Yeah, so CRM, before you lead gen, have your systems in place.
That's right.
Don't you think? I mean,
But don't spend so much time on your systems that you're not prospecting.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
like you got to prospect every single day. Like if you just give yourself a minimum of 2 hours a day, then you can build your systems. But the problem is people get so obsessed with their systems.
Like if I don't nothing in it.
If I spent January building systems, I'm not going to have any deals closed February, March.
That's right.
So you got to be careful. And the people that are like too analytical in this business really don't do that. The funny thing about real estate is it attracts so many people to this industry from so many different fields. Like an engineer, you attract an engineer type mind. Real estate, you attract everyone.
Yeah.
So I find the people that do the best are obviously the people with sales backgrounds.
Yep.
People, like people. Person.
Exactly.
people.
What am I saying?
People persons.
Thank you.
Something like that, right?
So that's the thing. Like people like. The reason a lot of people work with me is like not only am I really knowledgeable and I really know this market better than everyone, like, but my energy is good. People want to be around me. I'm positive. I can look at something and go, don't worry, we're going to put that fire out and go here. And I really make an effort to make this a stress-free transaction for my clients because it's the biggest purchase of their whole life.
Absolutely.
And so you just got to understand that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these teams get too big or they just forget there's a human on the other side of the transaction.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want the listeners to know before we move to the next segment?
I don't know. I think what I've learned over, like, in my 20s, it was, like, about the win, right? Like, I'm going to, like, if I was a listing agent, I'd beat up the buyer's agent. I'm smarter than them. I know the contract better. And, like, as I'm getting older and also having a team and, like, becoming more of a leader, I really just started thinking, like, I need to give back to both sides. And there's two people in the transaction. So now I look at a transaction more like, how could this be a win-win for both sides?
Yeah.
Not a 50-50 where we're like, we each get half of what we want, we're upset. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it a win-win and understanding, like, as a listing agent on the buying side, there's a whole family involved. And so my whole perspective of everything's changed, and I think that's been a big part of my success. If I have an agent calling me and she's on the other side of the transaction and they don't really know what they're doing, like, instead of being impatient and mad like I used to be, now it's like I slow down. I realize, you know what? They probably only do a couple deals a year. Let me help them, And so it's like by giving, you're getting a lot more.
Yeah, no, that's
right.
great. Great advice.
I really like that because there are
Yes.
some pretty rude real estate agents out there.
Yes, and they don't answer their phone, and it blows my mind because I do a lot of business and I answer my phone a lot.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get the don't answer my phone thing.
Yeah.
And some of them never call you back. I don't get that either.
That's weird.
Anyway, yeah. So we're going to get in the ring. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Tell me yes. Give me a big yes.
Can I wear the mask? I'm just kidding.
Yes.
We have several colors.
We will get. They want you to be in the mask, so we have multiple ones. We'll have you have a mask on in a minute. You ready? All right. Let's do this. How about the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Fake it till you make it in this business. Go buy that nice car, that nice suit, and look like you're a professional until you are.
Oh, all right, then.
Interesting.
There we go. Okay. Best advice. How about your favorite mobile app?
My favorite mobile app is
Tinder.
Definitely. Just kidding.
Joe,
Audible.
Audible, yeah. That one's a great one. I have that one.
One of my favorites.
Absolutely. How about a book recommendation?
I'm reading The Go-Giver right now.
My favorite.
That's one of Joey's favorites.
Oh, is it?
Actually.
Which is all about giving and getting back.
I got this book
Oh, look,
right now.
he has it in his hand. Yeah, I'm just almost done with that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's good. How about a productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
I'm using Lion Desk at the moment.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't use it, but I've got a lot of friends that use it. I think it's a good one.
I use Excel a lot, also spreadsheets.
Really?
Yeah,
I use them a lot
like
for
Excel.
like for each project. I'll have like a spreadsheet or like, looking at what the cash on cash return, and it's just kind of you can plug in numbers, send it to your investor, and he can see what he's making.
Wow.
Have your template set up, plug in numbers, it formulates and calculates and
Ready to go.
Yep.
That's Joey talk right there.
That's right.
All right. How about we got one more question? I'll let you draw from the mask.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right. Let's see what we got.
Tell us something most people don't know about you.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I've been a vegetarian my whole life, 37 years.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
I have hippie
like that.
parents with lots of love.
So you're drinking juice, vegetable juice when you were a baby.
Yes.
Nice.
The master cleanse is my childhood.
Oh, that is great. So what's your favorite vegetarian meal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lettuce.
Protein shakes. who
There you go.
eats? You guys have time to eat.
So we had a guest in here that not too long ago, and the thing that they shared that was most shocking was that they'd never eaten lettuce.
And they're probably going to die young. Just kidding.
She was it she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She said she pukes or she feels like
It made her
vomiting when
sick
she
when-
smells it.
Sounds like a mental thing.
So anyway, all right. So once again, if somebody wants to reach out to you directly, how do they do that?
My direct phone number is 480-734-7064. And it's Lauren at thelaurenrosenteam.com. And Rosin is Rosin.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping in.
I know. Thanks for having
We
me.
appreciate you being here. And until next time, it's Jeff Underwood and
Joey Sampaga.
and we have a guest over there filming everything. So until next time, security titles. Oh, do you want to say who?
This is Jackie Valencia, one of my star realtors.
All right.
She's been in business a couple years.
Hey, Jackie, I
and
know people can't see you, but
Poke your face in a little bit.
Hear me?
Yeah, they can.
She just
they
got
can kind of hear you, I
She
guess.
just landed a community out in Buckeye. We're going to be the exclusive listing agent
An
for that
entire
project.
community?
So she just landed that. So that's pretty exciting.
Sweet.
See a big banner out in Buckeye, the Lauren Rosin team.
Great job. Yeah.
So
All right. Well, until next time, this is Jeff Underwood and Joey Sampaga
Again.
from Security Title Studios. Have a fantastic day. Take care. All right.